I saw one of your videos where you have some very interesting insights into how to get out of tier 10 more easily, that you also used at the beginning of your journey. So, can you share those?
Yeah, so I know there are tons of different ways that people recommend to get out of tier 10, and I think there's so many paths that you can do it, and not necessarily one of them is better than the others. So for me personally, I knew that I didn't want to just like make items and be like, "Hey mom, can you buy like 10 shirts from me?" Or I was like, "You know what? I don't want to buy these for myself. I'm going to see if I can actually like sell these to somebody." So basically, the strategy that I used was kind of leveraging like a social media account to bring some direct traffic to Amazon. So Amazon, since you don't really have a like customer facing storefront, it's not really a platform that a lot of people think about like growing kind of like a social media following to buy items from you. But basically the strategy that I used is those first 10 slots that I had, and back then you couldn't like pick a bunch of products to put your designs on. It was just like if you did 10 shirts, that's all you got. So I picked a niche that I knew was doing well and was going to continue to do well for like the next few months, that there was a lot of demand for. I kind of had seen that this was doing well on like other platforms and Amazon. And I was like, you know what? I am going to make like a dedicated Instagram page that is going to be kind of like a shop for these Amazon listings that I have. And so basically, what I did is I filled all 10 of those slots with designs just in this one niche. And then on this Instagram account, I basically every day I would use like place it and I would make mock up photos of those Amazon designs. And then I would just like post photos on this Instagram account and interact with some people that were interested in this niche, follow some people, leave comments on stuff. And then I started getting like people who followed this account and would like click on my link and were interested in the stuff to buy. So I actually got all 10 of my like first sales from doing that strategy in like my first week to 10 days. I got those.
That is really impressive.
Yeah, I think like it definitely, you have to do the research of finding a very like passionate niche that is going to be willing to engage with something like that and wants to buy those types of items. But I think it still is a strategy that really does work. And I know like some of my students or like people on my YouTube have said they've tried a similar thing and they've gotten sales by doing that.
Can it be a competitive niche, like a highly competitive one?
I think it can be a little bit more competitive, and you do want a niche that's going to be broad enough that there are people looking for that. So, like, I wouldn't say do like the most obscure thing, like a dentist who like plays pickleball. Like, don't make an Instagram account like for
Mm.
that really hyper specific thing. It needs to be a little bit more broad, I would say for sure. And it's okay if there's a little bit of competition because you are kind of driving that direct traffic to it. But definitely, I think a lot of people they are in tier 10 and they're kind of waiting for that organic traffic to pick them up, which that definitely can happen. You can get discovered organically even with just 10 designs. But a lot of times that's going to take you like quite a few months and you're going to have to try a lot of different niches. So if you find a niche that you're like, you know what, I think this is really going to work, you can really just go all in on that and kind of help drive some of that direct traffic. I think it still is a strategy that works.
Yeah, it does sound like a very reasonable strategy. To kind of clarify some of the things with the social media accounts, you said upload mockups, and then the idea is to interact with people who are interested in that niche, right?
Yeah, that's what I found that works. Like, definitely, you do not want to be like spammy and just like be posting like the same comments on like everybody's Instagram who maybe like posts with a certain hashtag or follow certain accounts. But if you find people who are like in this niche and actively like posting maybe content that is related to the niche that you chose, I think it's like totally fine if you go to their Instagram, like a couple photos and leave like a genuine comment that like it makes it seem like you're not just like a bot that like randomly is like, I love this. Like actually try to interact with what they are talking about. And I think preferably in this type of niche, like this works really well if it's something that like you are maybe very passionate about. So something that I've thought about is like my husband and I, we are foster parents, so I'm like, you know, if I did this again, I could make like a social media account of apparel for like foster parents, and then it would be really easy for me to like find other like foster parent accounts or like organizations and kind of interact with people through that, and they would be very interested in this type of thing. So I think picking something that you know a little bit about works pretty well too.
Okay, so it's not a pushy sort of salesy way. It's more like you have the link there for
Right.
people who see you through interactions, who you follow, who might
Right.
check out your account, and then naturally they find the link and they say, oh, right, this might be interesting for me or for my daughter or whatever it may be. Yeah.
Exactly. Like if they click on your profile, they're like, oh, these are super cute, like sweatshirts or something. And so then they just purchase through that.